Hey everyone, we're in Gdansk. It's in Poland. It's not a popular city, but I think that's why we picked it. And I'm with Keisha. We're gonna go explore the city today. It's a really nice sunny Saturday. You can look at the architecture. It's really good. But I don't know anything yet. That's why we're going to a walking tour to find out more about this very underrated city with beautiful architecture.
Hola, mi amigas. I'm feeling cold. So many tourists behind. We are merely one or two of the many tourists in this place. It's actually quite popular for being where World War II was allegedly started.
They have a museum.
And yeah, it's a great port city. It's very beautiful, actually. You know what? Forget all those places if you go to other European cities. This place is not that crowded. Okay, don't look at the tourists behind me, but it's not that crowded. It's not that crowded, okay? And it's pretty nice, like breathable. People are so nice.
We just finished our 2.5-hour walking tour. It was very informative. Learned a lot, especially about the World War II and the infrastructures.
So we've got our coffee from
𝚘𝚘𝚃𝚘.
Here's the cake. I got the brownie.
Look at this. It's so big. Huge. It's pistachio croissant.
How do you decide what to draw?
I think I have like a set of ideas on what I usually draw in a city based on the journal that I brought. And for example, the previous trip I did in Copenhagen was like a full 2 pages. And it has like basic stuff like the flag, signages, architecture. More often than not, there's something about like, I like drawing lanterns and food. And these are more like the more unique things that you can see in every city. Now we're in Poland, so it's like I took so many photos of street signs, lanterns, architecture. And from the walking tour today, we found out that a lot of the architecture here is Dutch inspired, like Dutch, did I say Dutch Renaissance or something? So we're gonna find a way to kind of put that onto the page. And I think that's like my mental checklist of things I draw, because then it's easier for me to put together all the information. I also took notes on my phone on a bit of the history of the city, and then I'll do a bit of research, and then I wanna finish a spread by tomorrow before we leave so that we can take a photo outside and have a nice memory of the place.
When you're traveling, what do you bring with you to document?
Right now, I really enjoy bringing just two things. So 2 notebooks, I would say. The first one is this one. It's like my watercolor journal, and it's made with really high quality watercolor paper. So I just trust it with all my painting endeavors. And it's a bit big, so I don't bring it when I'm like out and about. Like today, everything just fit in this tiny bag. But I also like bringing this pocket sketchbook because it's so compact. So compact that I bought another one for future trips. And the thing about this is, like, if I have some idle time, for example, if I'm sitting by the park or waiting for food to arrive, I can always just pick this up and draw. And it's very portable. So for example, if I have a long train trip, I can also just sit down and draw, and I can just take my stuff. Other things I bring, this camera I bring, and my new addition to my documenting on the go tools is this Moft invisible tripod stand. It's very flat. I'm excited to use it tomorrow because it's my first time using it with my phone. And I finally got a MagSafe case for it. So what this does is it's very portable, and you can just unfold it like this. And instantly you get a tripod, which is so convenient for someone who travels consistently. And I mostly travel alone, so this is a good way to kind of just pop in my phone and either record me or record whatever I'm drawing. So we're gonna test run this tripod stand tomorrow at a cafe to see how it is. I also like how not bulky it is, how compact it is, because when I'm out and about, I just like bringing a small bag, and my general rule is anything that doesn't fit here will not come with me when I'm walking around the city. So that's my goal, and those are the tools that I bring. Obviously, I also bring some pens. Let's try to pack light, and that's pretty much it. So we are drawing today, and I thought it'd be perfect to take out my Moft invisible tripod stand, because one of the things that I do when I'm drawing before I start painting is actually I have my reference photos on hand, and it's really difficult to just put my phone in some corner and then draw from there. So one thing that I like to do now is to unfold this tripod stand. This is the MagSafe part. So it can be as low as this, but I like to raise it up a bit so I have a bit more room. And what I like about it is you can also just put it on landscape mode, especially if I'm going to be drawing like longer images, like landscape images. But mostly I have portraits. So right now I have the image of a long market, the town hall. So that's what I'm gonna be doing today. So then I have a really nice and hands-free experience, and it's just easier for me to zoom in, take this with me, and if I want to shift to recording, I can also just use the same setup and just switch around the camera if I want to record certain clips or want to draw. And it's just easy and more compact that way, so I can do this at any location that I want. Okay, let's start drawing. So I like to close off a trip always by having something to remember it by and document. It's either like a sketch or a journal page or an illustrated page. Right now I'm slowly going back to drawing and illustration, so I'm prioritizing doing that. It's not even the documenting itself. It's this like the middle of like observing something for the first time. You know, when you're traveling, you see something for the first time, you get really curious about something, and then before you actually get to document, you kind of let that information simmer first in your head, and it's like, oh yeah, we're not in Berlin, you know, we're not in Manila. It's a different city. And then that slowly becomes conditioned to my brain, and like that information allows me to figure out what to document. And then I find fascination in that middle point. I don't know what it's called, but it's just the middle of, you know, seeing things for the first time, observation, and then the documentation. That middle part where things are sort of like translate into illustration or a video or something written, because that's where everyone differs. Like, everyone can have their own way of documenting things, but since I'm gravitated towards a lot of specific things, for example, architecture, coffee, going to vintage stores, ephemera, and these things sort of inform how I document. And I think that's a very interesting thing to have, because everyone has their own perception of seeing a city for the first time, for example, or exploring a new place.